Mina Cho thought sending the wrong email would be her most embarrassing moment, until the Korean Mafia boss showed up at her door with groceries instead of bullets. What started as a humiliating mistake became a dangerous obsession when Jun Seo decided this struggling delivery girl was worth protecting. But when enemies discovered his one weakness, they didn't just target Mina, they went after the frail grandmother who raised her. In a world where love is liability and kindness gets you killed, Jun faced an impossible choice: save the woman stealing his heart, or watch his past destroy everything he'd learned to cherish. Because sometimes the most dangerous thing a broken man can do is fall in love with someone innocent enough to heal him. And sometimes an accidentally sent grocery list changes absolutely everything. Subscribe and tell me in the comments, have you ever made a mistake that completely changed your life? The phone alarm shrieked at 4:30. Mina Cho rolled from the couch and silenced it before Halmioni could wake. The studio apartment held morning shadows and yesterday's rice smell. She pulled on yesterday's jeans and checked the medication chart taped to the refrigerator. Tuesday, blood pressure, vitamins. She counted pills into the weekly dispenser. Wednesday, same. Thursday, same. Her phone buzzed. FaceTime from the nurse. "Morning, Mrs. Park," Mina said. She angled the camera toward Halmioni's sleeping form. "She took everything yesterday. No complaints." "Good girl. I'll be there at noon for the grocery run." "Actually, I'll handle it today, save you the trip." Mrs. Park's face softened. "You work too much, Mina. That grandmother of yours raised a stubborn one. I learned from the best." Mina smiled. "I'll email you the list." The call ended. Mina grabbed her delivery jacket and checked her reflection in the dark window. 29 years old, and she looked 40. Halmioni said worry aged a person faster than time. Halmioni said a lot of things. The hallway light flickered as she locked the door. Mrs. Kim emerged from the apartment across the hall with her morning coffee and stern expression. "More cars last night," Mrs. Kim said. "Black ones. They sit and watch." "Watching what?" "Who knows? Just be careful, Mina." "Bad men don't announce themselves." Mina felt tired already. "It's probably nothing." "Probably, but lock your door anyway." The stairs creaked under Mina's feet. Outside, the delivery scooter waited in its usual spot. She checked the gas gauge and winced. Half empty. Enough for today's route if she skipped lunch. Her phone buzzed. A text from her supervisor. "Routes doubled today. Kim called in sick. Handle it or find new work." Mina felt anger rise in her chest. She typed back, "Fine." The morning blur started. 23 deliveries across Koreatown before noon. Aching shoulders and a gas tank needle touching empty. She parked outside the market and counted crumpled bills in her pocket. $18. Enough for ramen and eggs. Maybe. Her phone rang. Halmioni's number. "Mina, where are you?" "Working, Halmioni. Mrs. Park is coming at noon, remember?" "I can't find my pills." "The blue ones." Mina felt panic tighten in her stomach. "Check the kitchen counter. The little organizer with the days." "Oh, yes, here they are, Tuesday." "That's right, take the Tuesday ones. When will you be home?" "Soon. Before dinner. I'll make soup. The kind you like." "That sounds perfect." Mina's voice was soft. "I love you." "Love you too, little bean." The call ended. Mina leaned against the scooter and breathed deeply. A car horn honked behind her. Black sedan. Tinted windows. It pulled away when she looked. Mrs. Kim's voice echoed in her head. Bad men don't announce themselves. Back on the road. More deliveries, more traffic. More bills that wouldn't pay themselves. The sun climbed higher and Mina's vision blurred from exhaustion. She pulled into an alley to rest and eat the energy bar she'd been saving. Her phone buzzed. Email notification. Message sent successfully. She didn't remember sending anything. She opened her email and scrolled. There it was. Sent 20 minutes ago to someone named J. Seo. The subject line read, "Halmioni's grocery list." Mina felt ice in her veins. She'd been typing the list during a red light. Groceries for Mrs. Park to pick up. But she'd sent it to the wrong contact. J. Seo instead of Mrs. Park. Who was J. Seo? She checked her contacts. There he was. Jun Seo. No photo, no additional information. When had she added him? The email showed as read. Delivered 30 seconds ago. Mina felt sick. She scrolled through the message. Embarrassing. Completely embarrassing. Halmioni needs Korean pears, mayok, ginger root, rice, the good kind, green onions, eggs, soy sauce, sesame oil, garlic, vitamins, B complex, medication pickup, pharmacy, soup bones. Thank you, Mrs. Park. She gets confused when I'm not there. Someone named Jun Seo now knew her grandmother was confused. knew she needed medication, knew they were struggling with basic groceries. Mina typed a quick follow-up. Sorry, wrong recipient. Please, disregard. She hit send and immediately felt worse. Now she looked careless and desperate. The rest of the day crawled. Every delivery felt heavier. Every smile for customers felt forced. By 6 o'clock, Mina was running on fumes and prayers. She climbed the stairs to her apartment with legs made of concrete. The hallway light was still flickering. Mrs. Kim's door stayed closed. No sound from inside. Mina fumbled with her keys and pushed the door open. Halmione sat in her chair by the window, hands folded in her lap. You look tired, little bean. Long day. Mina kissed her grandmother's forehead. Did Mrs. Park bring groceries? Mrs. Park? No, she didn't come. Mina felt confusion. But she was supposed to... A soft knock interrupted her. 3 gentle taps on the door. Mina checked the peephole. A tall man stood in the hallway holding grocery bags. Asian, well-dressed, dark hair and serious eyes. She'd never seen him before. She opened the door but kept the chain latched. Can I help you, Miss Cho? His voice was deep and careful. I have your grandmother's groceries. Mina felt her breath catch. I'm sorry? Korean pears, miyok, ginger root. He lifted the bag slightly. Everything from your list. The email. Jun Seo. This was Jun Seo. I can explain, Mina said quickly. I sent that by mistake. You don't need to... It's no trouble. He waited. Patient. May I come in? Every instinct screamed no. Strange men didn't deliver groceries at night. Strange men didn't track down addresses from email mistakes. Strange men were dangerous. But he had everything. Korean pears that cost too much. Miyok that Halmione loved but Mina couldn't afford. Real soup bones from the good butcher. Halmione, she called softly. Someone brought groceries. Tell them thank you, Halmione called back, and invite them in for tea. Mina felt trapped between politeness and fear. She unlatched the chain and opened the door wider. Jun Seo stepped inside and looked around the small apartment. His eyes found the medication chart on the refrigerator, the pills organized by day, Halmione's breathing machine in the corner. Where would you like these? He asked. The kitchen counter is fine. Mina watched him move, smooth, controlled, like someone who owned every room he entered. He set the bags down and began unpacking. Korean pears wrapped individually in tissue, miyok in the expensive packaging, real sesame oil, not the cheap stuff from the corner market. How much do I owe you? Mina asked. Nothing. I insist, this is too much. His eyes found hers, dark brown, unreadable. It's a gift. I don't accept gifts from strangers. Something shifted in his expression, almost a smile. We're not strangers. You emailed me. By mistake. Mistakes can be fortunate. Halmione appeared in her slippers and robe. She studied June with curious eyes. You're very tall, she said, and handsome. Are you married? Halmione, Mina whispered. It's all right, June said. His voice was gentler now. No, grandmother. I'm not married. Good. My granddaughter works too much. She needs someone to take care of her. Mina felt mortification burn her cheeks. Please ignore her, she says things. I say true things, Halmione corrected. She shuffled closer to June. What's your name, tall boy? June. June. Good name. Strong name. She patted his arm. Thank you for the groceries. Mina worries about money. Halmione, please. It's important to worry about the right things, June said. He looked at the medication chart again. Is she taking blood pressure medicine? Yes. Twice daily. The timing matters. Morning dose with food. Evening dose 2 hours after dinner. Mina felt surprise. How do you know that? Experience. He moved toward the door. Check the miyok packaging. The expiration date matters for elderly patients. Wait. Mina followed him. Who are you? Really? He paused at the door. Someone who pays attention. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you need tonight. He left. Mina locked the door and engaged both deadbolts. Her hands were shaking. Nice boy, Halmione said. He has sad eyes. He's not a boy. He's a stranger who somehow knows where we live. He brought miyok. Expensive miyok. That's not stranger behavior. Mina checked the peephole. The hallway was empty, but she could see the elevator light was still on. Someone had just used it. She returned to the kitchen and examined the groceries. Everything was perfect. The rice was premium grade. The pears were perfectly ripe. The miyok package showed an expiration date 6 months away. A small piece of paper fell from between the bags. Handwritten in careful script, check your grandmother's evening medication dosage. The pharmacy made an error. Mina felt ice in her stomach again. She grabbed Halmioni's pill bottles and called the pharmacy's after-hours line. "This is Mina Cho. I need to verify a prescription for my grandmother." "One moment." Keys clicked on a computer. "Yes, Miss Cho. We had an error in today's fill. Too high a dosage. We've been trying to reach you." "What kind of error?" "Blood pressure medication. Double strength by mistake. Very dangerous for elderly patients." Mina felt the room spin. "We haven't given her tonight's dose yet." "Good. Bring the bottle in tomorrow for replacement. And Miss Cho, thank whoever caught that error. Could have been serious." The call ended. Mina stared at the medication bottles. Jun Seo had somehow known about a pharmacy error before the pharmacy called to warn them. "Mina?" Halmioni's voice was small. "Is everything all right?" "Everything's fine." Mina hugged her grandmother. "Just a small medication mix-up. Nothing to worry about." But as she helped Halmioni prepare for bed, Mina's mind raced. Who was Jun Seo? How had he known about the medication error? Why had he gone to such trouble for strangers? And why did his sad eyes feel familiar? She tucked Halmioni into bed and returned to the kitchen. The groceries sat on the counter in perfect rows. Expensive, thoughtful, impossible to explain. Her phone buzzed. Text message from unknown number. "Sleep well. Check your door locks." Mina felt fear and something else, something warm and dangerous. She checked both deadbolts twice and pulled the curtains closed, but sleep didn't come easy. Every sound in the hallway made her jump. Every car that passed below made her check the window. At 3 in the morning, she finally drifted off on the couch. Her dreams were full of sad brown eyes and perfect Korean pears. The next morning brought new problems. Her supervisor called before dawn. "Mina, we need to talk. Come in early." "What's wrong?" "Just come in." At the delivery depot, her supervisor's face was stone. "Customers are complaining." "About what?" "Your attitude, your appearance, your reliability." Mina felt anger bubble up. "I've never missed a day, never been late, never dropped a delivery. Mrs. Chen says you were rude yesterday. Mr. Park says his order was damaged." "Mrs. Chen yelled at me for being 10 minutes late. Mr. Park's order was perfect when I delivered it. I'm cutting your routes in half. Probation for 2 weeks." "I need those routes. I can't survive on half pay." Her supervisor shrugged. "Should have thought of that before bringing drama to work." "What drama?" "Black cars following you around. Customers notice things. They get nervous." Mrs. Kim's words echoed. "Bad men don't announce themselves." Mina felt trapped. "Those cars aren't my fault." "Maybe not, but they're your problem." She left the depot with 8 routes instead of 16. Half the money, half the tips, half the chance of making rent next week. The morning crawled by. Every delivery felt heavier under the weight of reduced income and growing fear. At lunch, she parked the scooter and tried to eat an energy bar, but her stomach was too twisted. A black sedan pulled up across the street. Same model as yesterday, same tinted windows. Mina felt panic rise in her chest. She started the scooter and pulled into traffic. The sedan followed. Not close, not obvious, but there. She took 3 random turns. The sedan stayed behind her. Professional, patient. At a red light, she grabbed her phone and dialed Jun Seo's number. It rang once. "Miss Cho, someone's following me." "Where are you?" "Western Avenue and 3rd Street. Stay on the line, don't hang up." The light turned green. Mina drove slowly, checking her mirrors. The sedan maintained distance. "Turn right at the next street," Jun said. "Why should I trust you?" "Because I'm not the one following you." Mina turned right. The sedan followed. Now left into the parking garage, 2nd level, parked near the elevator. "How do you know about—" "Trust me." Mina pulled into the garage. Her hands were shaking on the handlebars. The sedan passed the entrance without stopping. "They're gone," Jun said, "for now. Where are you working today?" "I can't tell you that." "Miss Cho," his voice was firm, "someone is watching your movements, learning your patterns. This isn't random." "How do you know?" "Experience." That word again. "Experience with what?" "I need to finish my deliveries. Take different routes home. Don't follow patterns." "Who are you?" Mina asked. "Really?" The line went quiet for a long moment. "Someone who understands dangerous men." The call ended. Mina sat in the parking garage for 10 minutes, listening to her heart pound. When she finally emerged, the street was clear. No black sedans, no watchers. But the feeling of being hunted stayed with her for the rest of the day. That evening, she climbed the stairs to her apartment with heavy legs and a heavier heart. The hallway light was still flickering. Mrs. Kim's door was closed. Everything looked normal. But when she reached her door, something was wrong. The deadbolt was unlocked. Mina felt ice in her veins. She'd locked it that morning. Both deadbolts. She always locked both deadbolts. She pushed the door open slowly. Halmione? In here, little bean. Halmione sat in her usual chair, hands folded, but her eyes were wide, frightened. What happened? Mina rushed to her side. A man came. He said he was from the pharmacy, about the medication mistake. What man? Not the tall boy from yesterday. A different man, older. He asked questions about you. Mina felt panic claw at her throat. What kind of questions? Your work schedule, your routes, when you come home. Halmione's hands shook. I didn't tell him anything, but he looked around anyway. Did he touch anything? I don't know, I was scared. Mina checked the apartment. Everything looked normal, but normal didn't mean safe. Her phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. Pretty grandmother. It would be unfortunate if something happened to her while you're working. Mina felt rage and terror fight in her chest. She dialed Jun Seo immediately. Miss Cho, someone was in my apartment. They threatened my grandmother. Are you both safe now? Yes, but stay exactly where you are. Don't open the door for anyone. Are you coming here? Yes. I didn't ask you to come. You don't have to ask. The line went dead. Mina triple-checked the locks and pulled the curtains closed. She helped Halmione to bed and sat beside her until the old woman fell asleep. 20 minutes later, soft knocking. 3 gentle taps. Mina checked the peephole. June stood in the hallway with another man. Shorter, serious expression. They both wore dark coats. She opened the door but kept the chain latched. Miss Cho, this is Day, my associate. Day nodded politely. Ma'am, we need to check your apartment, June said. Why? To make sure it's secure. Mina felt torn between fear and frustration. I don't understand what's happening. Someone is escalating, June said. Watching became visiting. Visiting will become something worse. But why? I don't understand why anyone would care about me. June's eyes found hers. Something shifted in his expression, almost regret. Sometimes people become targets for no good reason. Wrong place, wrong time, wrong email address. This is about the email? Partially. What's the other part? June looked at Day. Some silent communication passed between them. The other part is me, June said finally. I don't understand. Someone thinks you're important to me. But I'm not. We just met yesterday. They don't know that. Mina felt the pieces clicking together in a terrible pattern. Who are you? Someone with enemies. That's still not an answer. It's the only answer that matters tonight. She unlatched the chain and let them inside. Day moved through the apartment methodically, checking windows, examining locks, looking for things Mina couldn't imagine. June stayed near the door, hands clasped behind his back, professional, controlled. Your building security is poor, Day said. Locks are standard grade. Windows face the street, too many sightlines. I can't afford better, Mina said. Better isn't about money, June said. It's about knowledge. Day pulled small devices from his coat. Motion sensors, window alarms, door reinforcement. I can't pay for any of this. You don't need to, June said. I don't accept charity. It's not charity, it's necessity. Mina felt anger rise again. You can't just decide what I need. I'm not deciding. The situation is deciding. What situation? You still haven't explained anything. June looked at her for a long moment. His eyes held something she couldn't read. There are people who hurt innocent families to send messages, he said finally. Your grandmother would be an easy target. Target for what? Pain, leverage, control. The words hit Mina's stomach. She thought of Halmione's frightened eyes, her shaking hands. How do I make it stop? You don't. I do. By doing what? What I should have done from the beginning. Day finished installing the window sensors and moved to the door. He worked quickly and quietly, replacing the standard deadbolt with something heavier, more complex. This will buy time, he said, not solve the problem. How long? Mina asked. Depends on how determined they are, and how determined we are, June added. They finished the security upgrades in 30 minutes. The apartment felt different now. Safer, but also more like a prison. Someone will be watching the building tonight, June said. You won't see them, but they're there. Your people? Yes. Why are you helping me? June paused at the door. Because some mistakes have consequences for innocent people, and you feel responsible for those consequences. I feel responsible for fixing them. He left with Dai. Mina locked the new deadbolt and tested the window alarms. Everything worked perfectly. But as she prepared for another sleepless night, one question echoed in her mind. What kind of man could install professional security equipment in 30 minutes and promise invisible guards for protection? And what kind of enemies did he have that would threaten an innocent grandmother? Her phone buzzed one final time. Text from June's number. "Sleep well. You're safe tonight." Mina wanted to believe him, but safety felt impossible when she didn't understand the danger. She checked on Halmione one more time. The old woman slept peacefully, unaware that her tiny apartment had become a fortress. Outside, the street looked normal. Cars parked in neat rows, streetlights casting yellow circles on empty sidewalks. But somewhere in the shadows, invisible guards were watching, and somewhere else enemies were planning. Mina felt caught between two dangerous worlds, one that protected her, one that wanted to hurt her. And she still didn't understand why either world cared about a grocery delivery clerk who sent emails to the wrong address. The answer, she suspected, would change everything. The next morning brought new humiliation. Mina's supervisor called before her first delivery. Half-routes, remember? And Mina? No more drama, customers are nervous. What drama? Black cars. Strange men asking questions. Whatever trouble you're in, keep it away from work. Mina felt her chest tighten. I'm not in any trouble. Good. Keep it that way. She hung up and stared at her reduced route list. 8 deliveries instead of 16. The math was simple and devastating. Half the income meant choosing between rent and Halmione's medications. Her phone buzzed. Text from June's number. "Do you need a ride to work?" She typed back, "No. The sedan was parked outside your building at dawn." Mina felt ice in her veins. She checked the window. The street looked normal. But normal didn't mean safe anymore. Another text. "I'm downstairs." She looked again. A black car sat at the curb. Not the sedan with tinted windows. This one was different, expensive but understated. Mina felt anger and fear fight in her chest. She didn't want June's help, but she also didn't want to face another day of being hunted. She grabbed her delivery jacket and checked on Halmione, still sleeping peacefully. Downstairs, June waited beside the passenger door. He wore a dark suit and serious expression. "This doesn't mean anything," Mina said. "Just today." Understood. The car's interior was immaculate, leather seats and perfect silence. But something caught her eye on the dashboard. A small bracelet tucked against the windshield, child-sized, pink beads and tiny silver hearts. Mina felt curiosity override caution. "Someone in your family has a daughter." June's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Had. The word hung between them. Past tense. "Final?" "I'm sorry," Mina said softly. It was a long time ago. But his voice carried fresh pain, recent wounds disguised as old scars. They drove in silence toward the depot. June's movements were controlled and precise. No wasted motion, no unnecessary words. "You can drop me at the corner," Mina said. "I'll wait until you're inside." "That's not necessary. Necessity isn't negotiable anymore." At the depot, Mina hesitated before getting out. "Thank you. You don't need to thank me." "Then what do I need to do?" June's eyes found hers, dark brown and unreadable. "Trust me." The day crawled by with mechanical efficiency. 8 deliveries instead of 16. Fewer tips, less hope, but no black sedans in her mirrors. At lunch, she called Halmione to check in. "I'm fine, little bean. Mrs. Kim brought soup. She says the tall boy is dangerous." "Why does she think that?" She asked around the neighborhood. "People know his name." Mina felt her breath catch. "What do they say?" "That he's important, that he has power, that smart people don't cross him." "What kind of power?" "The expensive kind." After work, June's car waited outside the depot. Mina climbed in without argument. The alternative was riding the scooter home alone and defenseless. "How was your day?" he asked. "Half the routes, half the money, same problems." "I can speak with your supervisor." "No." Mina's voice was sharp. "No speaking, no fixing, no interference. Your income affects your grandmother's care. My income is my responsibility." Something shifted in his expression, almost a smile. "You're stubborn. I'm independent." "Same thing, usually." They stopped at a red light. June checked his mirrors automatically, professional habit or current necessity. "The bracelet," Mina said quietly. "How old was she?" 18 months. "What happened?" June's jaw tightened. "Wrong place, wrong time, wrong father." The light turned green. They drove toward her building in heavy silence. "I'd like to pick up Halmione," June said. "Take you both home together." "Why?" Building security is better with multiple people present. Mina felt trapped between gratitude and resentment. Fine, but you wait in the car. Of course. Upstairs, Halmione was dressed and ready. She'd been watching from the window. The tall boy is back, she announced. He has a nice car. It's just a ride, Halmione. Don't read too much into it. I read exactly the right amount. He has sad eyes and expensive clothes. That's a dangerous combination. They rode the elevator down together. Halmione moved slowly but steadily. Mina felt pride watching her grandmother maintain dignity despite her frailty. June got out to help Halmione into the car. His movements were gentle and respectful. He offered his arm without assumption. "Thank you, tall boy," Halmione said. "You're very polite." "My mother taught me manners, grandmother." "Smart woman. Is she still alive?" "No, she died when I was young." "I'm sorry, losing mothers is hard on boys." Something flickered across June's face. Old pain, carefully hidden. The drive home was quiet, but comfortable. Halmione hummed softly in the back seat. Mina watched June's hands on the steering wheel. Strong fingers, small scars across the knuckles. At the building, June walked them to the door, but didn't ask to come up. "Thank you," Mina said. "I'll be nearby tonight." Different car. Same purpose. How long will this continue? Until the threat resolves. And how does it resolve? June's eyes held hers. Definitively. Upstairs, Halmione settled into her chair with relief. The day had tired her more than usual. "He's a good man," she said. "Damaged, but good." "How can you tell?" "The way he helped me from the car. Careful hands. Patient timing. Men who hurt people don't touch grandmothers gently." Mina felt something warm and dangerous in her chest. Hope, maybe. Or foolishness. Her phone buzzed. Text from June. "Soup bones are in your refrigerator. Make me yokguk tonight. Good for recovery." She checked the kitchen. Sure enough, fresh soup bones sat wrapped in butcher paper. When had he put them there? "Did June bring groceries again?" she called. "The bag by the door," Halmione said. He was very quiet about it. Mina found Korean pears and fresh vegetables. Everything needed for a proper meal. Everything they couldn't afford. She felt frustration and gratitude tangled together. June kept helping without permission, kept providing without explanation, but Halmione needed the food, and Mina was too tired to refuse kindness, even complicated kindness. She made soup, while Halmione dozed in her chair. The miok expanded in hot water, filling the apartment with ocean smell and memories of childhood. A soft knock interrupted her cooking. 3 gentle taps. June stood in the hallway with empty hands and cautious eyes. "The soup smells good," he said. "Halmione loves miokguk. Reminds her of her mother." "Mine too." Mina felt curiosity again. "Your mother made it for you?" "When I was sick. When I was sad. When nothing else worked. Would you like some?" The words escaped before she could stop them. June's eyes widened slightly, surprised by the invitation. "If it's not trouble." "It's just soup." But they both knew it wasn't just soup. It was acceptance. Temporary and conditional, but real. June followed her inside and bowed slightly to Halmione. The old woman smiled and patted the couch beside her chair. "Sit, tall boy. Tell me about your work." "I manage businesses, grandmother. Nothing exciting." "What kind of businesses?" "Import and export. Logistics. Problem solving." Mina ladled soup into bowls and listened. June's answers were careful, truthful, but incomplete. "You're very young to manage so much," Halmione said. "I started early, had good teachers, and bad experiences, I think." June's spoon paused halfway to his mouth. "Some. Experience makes us careful. Careful keeps us alive." "Yes, grandmother." They ate in comfortable quiet. The soup was perfect, rich broth and tender seaweed. June finished his bowl and complimented the seasoning. "My mother would approve," he said. "She sounds like a wise woman," Halmione said. She was, until she wasn't careful enough. The words carried weight. Old grief disguised as acceptance. After dinner, June helped clear dishes despite Mina's protests. His movements were efficient and respectful, someone who understood kitchens and family rhythms. "I should go," he said finally. "Thank you for the soup bones," Mina said, "and the vegetables, and everything else you keep leaving. It's no trouble. It's a lot of trouble, and a lot of money. Money isn't the problem." "Then what is the problem?" June looked at Halmione, then back at Mina. "Making sure you're both safe while I handle the real problem." "Which is?" "People who think hurting innocents sends effective messages." At the door he paused. "Lock everything tonight. New procedures start tomorrow." "What procedures?" I'll explain in the morning. He left. Mina locked the new deadbolt and tested the window alarms. Everything worked perfectly, but as she helped Halmione prepare for bed, questions multiplied in her mind. What kind of businesses did June really manage? What messages were his enemies trying to send? And why did helping them seem so natural to him? He's falling in love with you, Halmione said quietly. That's ridiculous. We barely know each other. Love doesn't follow schedules, little bean, it follows hearts. His heart is broken. You said so yourself. Broken hearts heal faster when they have something worth protecting. Mina felt warmth spread through her chest. Dangerous warmth that made her think about June's gentle hands and sad eyes. But broken men were dangerous, and men with enemies were worse. She tucked Halmione into bed and kissed her forehead. Sleep well. Dream about tall boys with expensive cars, Halmione whispered. I'll dream about paying rent and buying groceries. Dreams should be bigger than problems. Alone in the living room, Mina tried to focus on practical concerns. Money, work, Halmione's medical needs. But her mind kept drifting to June's voice when he mentioned his mother. The careful way he'd helped Halmione from the car, the child's bracelet on his dashboard. He was more than he seemed. But whether that meant better or worse remained unclear. Her phone buzzed. Text from his number. Sleep well. Tomorrow we discuss options. Options for what? Safety? The future? Something else entirely? She fell asleep on the couch again, phone in her hand and questions in her head. Morning brought rain and new complications. Her supervisor called at 7. Don't come in today, Mina. Customer complaints are piling up. What complaints? Mrs. Chen says men in suits asked her about your delivery schedule. Mr. Park says someone broke into his store asking about you. Mina felt panic rise in her throat. That's not my fault. Maybe not, but it's your problem. Take the day off. Let things cool down. I need the hours. You need the trouble to stop. The call ended. Mina stared at her phone and fought back tears. No work meant no money. No money meant no rent. No rent meant losing the apartment. Losing the apartment meant losing custody of Halmione. The spiral felt endless and inevitable. Her phone rang. June's number. Miss Cho, I heard about your work situation. How did you hear about that? Information travels quickly in small communities. Are you having me watched? I'm having the people watching you watched. That's not an answer. It's the only answer that keeps you safe. Mina felt anger and helplessness fight in her chest. I can't lose this job. You won't lose anything important. My job is important. My income is important. My independence is important. Your life is more important. What kind of life will I have without work? Without money, without choices? Silence stretched between them. When June spoke again, his voice was softer. There are other options, such as working for me. Doing what? Whatever needs doing. Administrative tasks, schedule management, organization. Mina felt suspicion mix with desperation. That's charity disguised as employment. It's employment disguised as protection. I don't understand the difference. The difference is dignity. And what would I have to do for this dignity? Show up, work hard, follow security protocols. Security protocols? Staying alive, keeping your grandmother safe, letting me handle the threats. It sounded reasonable. Too reasonable. Men like June didn't offer jobs to women like her without complicated reasons. I need time to think. Time is something we don't have much of. Why not? Because they're escalating. Watching became visiting. Visiting became threatening. Threatening becomes action. What kind of action? June's silence was answer enough. I need to see Halmione, Mina said. I'll drive you. I can take the scooter. Not anymore. Not alone. An hour later, they sat in his car outside her building. Rain drummed on the roof and windshield. The street was empty except for a few parked cars. The bracelet, Mina said quietly. Tell me about her. June's hands tightened on the steering wheel. Her name was Sue Jin. She had her mother's eyes and my stubborn chin. How did it happen? Car bomb. Meant for me. Wrong timing. His voice was flat. Careful control over fresh pain. They were going to the market. Sue Jin wanted ice cream. Mina felt her breath catch. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't change anything. No, but it means something. Does it? It means you're not alone with the pain. Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, maybe. Or gratitude. My wife's name was Jihai, he said quietly. She was a teacher. She thought she could save everyone, including me. Could she? For a while, until I got her killed. The words hit Mina's chest. Raw grief disguised as acceptance. It wasn't your fault, wasn't it? I knew the risks, I knew my enemies, I chose to love them anyway. Love isn't a choice, it's what happens when you stop fighting it. June looked at her, really looked at her. His eyes held something she couldn't name. Is that what's happening here, he asked. I don't know, maybe, probably. That's dangerous for you. Everything about you is dangerous for me. Then why are you here? Because everything about me is dangerous for Halmione if I'm not. They sat in silence, rain washing the world clean around them, two broken people trying to protect what little they had left. The job offer, June said finally. It's real, not charity. What would I actually do? Help me manage legitimate businesses, schedule meetings, organize files, normal administrative work. And the abnormal part? Doing it from a secure location, following safety protocols, accepting protection. Your protection. Yes. Why? Because I failed to protect them. I won't fail to protect you. The rain intensified. Mina watched water cascade down the windshield and felt her resolve weaken. What about Halmione? She comes with you. Safe location, medical care, everything she needs. You're asking me to trust you with our lives. I'm asking you to let me try to keep you alive. Mina felt tears threaten behind her eyes. This is insane. Sanity is overrated when bullets start flying. Are bullets going to start flying? June's silence was answer enough. When do we leave? She asked finally. Tonight, after dark, when there are fewer eyes watching. And if I say no, then I do my best to protect you from a distance and hope it's enough. But you don't think it will be. No, I don't think it will be. Mina closed her eyes and made the choice that would change everything. Okay, we'll come. Tonight. But I have conditions. Name them. Halmione's medication schedule doesn't change. Her routine stays as normal as possible, and if this gets too dangerous, we leave. No arguments. Agreed. And June? Yes? If you're lying to me about any of this, I'll make you regret it. Something that might have been a smile crossed his face. I believe you. They drove back to the apartment in comfortable silence. The decision was made. For better or worse, their lives were now connected. But as they parked outside her building, Mina noticed something that made her blood freeze. The front door was propped open. A maintenance sign hung from the handle, but there was no maintenance van on the street. Something's wrong, she said. June was already reaching for his phone. Stay in the car. Halmione's up there. I know, that's why you're staying here. He made a quick call, spoke in rapid Korean to someone named Dai, then hung up and looked at Mina. Help is coming. But I need to go up now. I'm coming with you. Absolutely not. She's my grandmother, which is why you need to stay alive to take care of her. Mina felt panic and fury fight in her chest, but June was already getting out of the car. Lock the doors. If anyone approaches who isn't me or Day, drive away. Don't stop until you reach the police station. He disappeared into the building. Mina sat in the driver's seat with hands shaking and heart pounding. 5 minutes felt like 5 hours. Then June appeared in the lobby with Halmione. The old woman looked frightened but unharmed. Behind them walked a younger man in a dark coat. Dai. Mina jumped out of the car and ran to her grandmother. Are you hurt? No, little bean. Just scared. Men were in our apartment, looking through our things. What did they want? Day answered. Information, leverage, pressure points. Did they find anything? They found what we wanted them to find, June said. What does that mean? It means the game just changed and we need to move now. 15 minutes later, they were driving through downtown Los Angeles in a convoy of 2 cars. Halmione dozed in the back seat, exhausted by fear and confusion. Where are we going? Mina asked. Somewhere safe. That's not specific enough. A penthouse. Downtown, secure building, professional security. Your home? One of them. The building was sleek and modern, glass and steel reaching into the cloudy sky. The parking garage required 2 key cards and a security code. In the elevator, Halmione leaned against Mina's shoulder. This is all very exciting, she whispered, but I'm tired. We'll get you settled soon, Mina promised. The penthouse occupied the entire top floor. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the city, minimalist furniture and careful lighting, everything expensive and perfectly arranged. But despite the luxury, it felt empty, like a showroom instead of a home. The guest room is prepared, June said. Private bathroom, medical supplies in the nightstand. He showed them down a hallway lined with closed doors. The guest room was spacious and comfortable, a hospital bed with controls for easy positioning, fresh flowers on the dresser. This is lovely, Halmione said. Like a hotel. Rest as long as you need, grandmother. Everything is safe here. Mina helped Halmeoni change into her nightgown and settle into bed. The old woman fell asleep within minutes, exhausted by the day's upheaval. In the living room, June stood at the windows, watching the city lights. "Thank you," Mina said, "for getting her out safely. They weren't trying to hurt her. Not yet." What were they trying to do? Send a message, show their reach, demonstrate vulnerability. And what message does bringing us here send? June turned from the window. His eyes were dark and serious. That the game has new rules now. What kind of rules? The kind where I stop being reactive and start being decisive. What does that mean? It means tomorrow, some dangerous people are going to have a very bad day. Mina felt ice and fire fight in her stomach. You're going to hurt them. I'm going to stop them. By violence. By whatever means prove effective. And what if they hurt you back? Something flickered across June's face. Surprise at her concern. They're welcome to try. That's not an answer. It's the only answer that matters. Mina moved closer to him, close enough to see the small scar above his left eyebrow, close enough to smell his cologne and something else, something warm and dangerous. "I need you to come back," she said quietly. "Why?" "Because Halmeoni likes you, and because I'm starting to understand why." Understanding can be dangerous. Everything about this situation is dangerous. That doesn't make it wrong. June's eyes found hers. Dark brown and suddenly vulnerable. "I failed to protect them," he said quietly. "I won't fail to protect you. You didn't fail. You loved them. Love isn't failure, even when it ends badly. Isn't it? No. Love is the only thing that makes the pain worthwhile." Something shifted in his expression. Hope, maybe, or possibility. They stood close in the dim light, city spread below them and danger circling above. Two broken people trying to build something whole. "Get some sleep," June said finally. "Tomorrow will be difficult. Where will you be?" "Making sure tomorrow comes at all." He walked toward the door, then paused. "Mina?" "Yes?" "Thank you for trusting me with this. Thank you for giving me something to trust." After he left, Mina explored the penthouse. Kitchen stocked with expensive appliances and empty cabinets. Living room furnished for show, not comfort. Everything perfect and cold. But at the end of the hallway, she found something that stopped her breath. A door marked with a small nameplate. Sujin, the nursery. Still locked. Still waiting. Mina pressed her ear to the door, but heard nothing. Whatever grief June carried, he carried it alone. She settled onto the couch and pulled a throw blanket around her shoulders. Through the windows, Los Angeles glittered and pulsed. Millions of lights hiding millions of stories. Her phone buzzed. Text from June. "Sleep well. You're safe here." For the first time in days, she actually believed it. But safety, she was learning, came with a price, and that price was usually paid in blood. Dawn crept through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Mina woke on the couch with a stiff neck and confused thoughts. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then memory returned. Penthouse, safety, June's protection. She found coffee in the kitchen and stood at the windows, watching the city wake up. Los Angeles spread below in geometric patterns, roads and buildings and lives intersecting without touching. "You're awake early," June's voice came from behind her. She turned to find him in the doorway, hair slightly mussed and wearing yesterday's clothes. "Did you sleep?" she asked. "Some. You look tired. I look alive. That's what matters today." Mina felt worry tighten in her chest. "What happens today? I handle the problem. By yourself? With help? What kind of help?" June moved to the coffee maker and poured himself a cup. His movements were careful and controlled, but tension showed in his shoulders, the kind that solves problems permanently. Violence. Resolution. Same thing. Not always. They stood in the kitchen drinking coffee and avoiding the truth hanging between them. Today, people would probably die. Today, everything would change. "I need you to stay here," June said, "with Halmeoni. Don't leave for any reason. What if there's an emergency? Day will be here, he handles emergencies. And what if something happens to you?" June's eyes found hers, dark brown and suddenly vulnerable. "Then Day gets you somewhere safe, far from here. New identities, new lives." "I don't want a new life. I want this one, with you in it." Something shifted in his expression. Surprise, hope, fear. That's dangerous thinking. Everything about you is dangerous. That doesn't make it wrong, doesn't it? No. It makes it worth protecting. June set down his coffee cup and moved closer, close enough that she could see the small scar above his eyebrow, close enough to feel heat from his body. "I failed to protect them," he said quietly. "You didn't fail. Bad things happened. That's different. Is it? Yes. Failure is giving up. You never gave up. I gave up on myself. But you didn't give up on love. You're here, protecting me, caring for Halmione. That's not failure. June's breath caught. His eyes held hers with desperate intensity. If I don't come back, you'll come back. If I don't, you will. Because you promised to protect us. And because I need you to. Why? Because I'm falling in love with you. And love deserves a chance. The words escaped before she could stop them. June's eyes widened. His hands moved to her face, cupping it gently. Mina, don't say it's too dangerous. Don't say it's too complicated. Just say you feel it too. I feel it too. They stood close in the morning light. Two broken people trying to build something whole from scattered pieces. Come back to me, she whispered. I will. Promise. I promise. Footsteps in the hallway broke the moment. Halmione appeared in her robe and slippers. Good morning, children. Are you making breakfast or declarations? Mina felt her cheeks burn. Breakfast. Definitely breakfast. Good. I'm hungry, and the tall boy needs to eat before he goes to work. June smiled. The first real smile Mina had seen from him. What would you like, grandmother? Eggs, toast, stories about your childhood. My childhood wasn't very interesting. All childhoods are interesting. They explain the adults. They cook together in easy rhythm. June scrambled eggs while Mina made toast. Halmione directed from her chair at the breakfast bar. More salt in the eggs, less butter on the toast. Tell me about your mother. She was a teacher, June said. Literature. She loved books more than people. Smart woman, books don't disappoint you. People don't either, not always. Present company excluded, I hope. Present company especially included. Mina felt warmth spread through her chest. This felt like family, like home, like something worth fighting for. After breakfast, June prepared to leave. He checked his phone and spoke briefly with Dae in rapid Korean. I'll be gone most of the day, he told Mina. Don't answer the door for anyone except Dae. What if? No what ifs, just trust me. I do trust you. Then prove it. Stay alive until I get back. He kissed her forehead gently. A promise and a goodbye. After he left, the penthouse felt empty. Mina helped Halmione shower and dress. They watched morning television and played cards. Normal activities in an abnormal situation. At noon, Dae brought lunch from a Korean restaurant. He was polite but distant, professional. How long have you worked for June? Mina asked. 5 years. What was he like before his family died? Dae considered the question carefully. Happier, less careful, more trusting. And now? Now he protects what matters, at any cost. What matters to him? You, your grandmother, the promise he made to keep you safe. And himself? Himself matters least of all. The afternoon crawled by. Mina cleaned the already spotless kitchen, helped Halmione with physical therapy exercises, tried to read magazines. But her mind stayed focused on June. Where was he? What was he doing? Would he come back whole? At 4 o'clock her phone rang. Unknown number. Miss Cho? Yes? This is Dr. Kim from Seoul Medical Center. There's been an emergency with your grandmother's prescription. Mina felt ice in her veins. What kind of emergency? Contaminated batch. Very serious. She needs to come in immediately for blood tests. I'll call her regular doctor. No time, this is urgent. Life-threatening urgent. Where do I bring her? I'm sending a car. Be downstairs in 10 minutes. The call ended. Mina felt panic and confusion fight in her chest. Halmione's medications came from the local pharmacy, not Seoul Medical Center. But contaminated drugs were serious. She found Dae in the living room. We need to take Halmione to the hospital. Emergency with her medication. Dae's eyes sharpened. What hospital? Seoul Medical Center. Dr. Kim called. June didn't mention any medical appointments. It's an emergency. Contaminated prescription. Miss Cho. Dae's voice was careful. There is no Seoul Medical Center in Los Angeles. Mina felt the trap close around her. It was a trick. Yes, and they're probably already downstairs. What do we do? We follow protocols, secure location, no movement, wait for backup. But even as Dae spoke, the lights went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, casting red shadows through the penthouse. Building power, Dae said into his phone. Compromised. Need immediate assistance. Through the windows, Mina could see the street below. Black cars had surrounded the building. Too many to count, too organized to be coincidence. They're here, she whispered. Stay with your grandmother, Dae said. No matter what happens, stay with her. The elevator chimed, footsteps in the hallway. Day drew a gun from his jacket and moved toward the door. Professional, calm, ready. How many? Mina asked. Too many. What do we do? We survive until help arrives. The front door exploded inward. 3 men in dark clothes rushed through. Day fired twice. 2 men dropped. The third kept coming. Mina grabbed Halmione and pulled her toward the bedroom. The old woman moved slowly, confused by the chaos. What's happening? Halmione asked. Bad men. We need to hide. Behind them the fight continued. Gunshots, breaking glass, shouts in Korean. In the bedroom, Mina locked the door and pushed furniture against it. Her phone had no signal. The landline was dead. Little Bean, Halmione's voice was small. I'm scared. I know. But June will come, he promised. What if he doesn't? He will. He always keeps his promises. But as footsteps approached the bedroom door, Mina felt doubt creep into her heart. The door handle turned. The barricade held for 30 seconds. Then the door burst open. A man stood in the doorway. Older, scarred face, cold eyes. Miss Cho, your boyfriend isn't here to protect you now. What do you want? I want him to suffer, and you're going to help me achieve that. 2 more men entered the room. They grabbed Mina despite her struggles. Halmione cried out as they dragged her granddaughter away. Don't hurt her, Mina shouted. She's innocent. Innocence is irrelevant. Leverage is everything. They carried her through the penthouse. Day lay unconscious near the front door. Blood on his forehead but still breathing. In the elevator, the scarred man spoke into his phone. We have the girl, Warehouse District. Tell Jun Seo his protection failed again. He'll kill you for this, Mina said. He'll try. But first, he'll watch you die. Just like he watched them die. You killed his family. I sent a message. Tonight, I send another one. The warehouse was empty and echoing. High ceilings and concrete floors, perfect for screaming that no one would hear. They tied Mina to a chair in the center of the space. Spotlights created a circle of harsh light around her. Everything beyond was shadow. Now we wait, the scarred man said. Wait for what? For your hero to arrive. For him to see you helpless. For him to understand that love makes you weak. Love makes you strong. Love makes you vulnerable. And vulnerability is fatal in my business. Mina tested the ropes binding her wrists. Too tight. No give. But her feet were loosely tied. Maybe enough room to work. What's your name? She asked. Han Byung-ho. What did Jun do to you? He existed. He prospered. He forgot his place. And what place is that? Beneath me. Footsteps echoed through the warehouse. Multiple sets. Armed men taking positions. How many people are you planning to kill tonight? Mina asked. As many as necessary, starting with you. But even as Han spoke, Mina heard something else. A sound like wind through broken glass. Or ghosts moving through walls. The spotlights died. Emergency lighting cast red shadows through the space. What? Han started to say. The first gunshot came from the darkness, clean and precise. One of Han's men dropped without a sound, then silence. Jun Seo, Han shouted. Show yourself. I'm here. Jun's voice came from everywhere and nowhere, calm, controlled, deadly. You're outnumbered, Han called. I've been outnumbered before. Another gunshot, another man down. Come into the light, Han said. Face me directly. Why? You prefer shooting people in the back, like I shot your wife? Mina felt rage flash through her, but Jun's response was ice-cold calm. Yes, like that. A third shot. A fourth. Han's men were falling like dominoes in the darkness. Stop! Han grabbed Mina's hair and pressed a gun to her head. Come out or she dies. Jun stepped into the circle of light. No weapon visible. Hands empty, but his eyes held death. Let her go. Drop your weapons. I don't have any weapons. Liar. Check for yourself. Han gestured to his remaining men. They approached Jun carefully, searched his jacket, his pockets, found nothing. Then how? Experience. Jun moved. Faster than thought. Faster than fear. The first man went down with a broken neck, the second with crushed ribs. The third managed to raise his gun before Jun's hand crushed his windpipe. Han still held the gun to Mina's head, but his hand was shaking now. Stay back, he said. I'll kill her. No, you won't. Why not? Because you need her alive to hurt me. Dead, she's useless to you. Maybe I just want to watch you suffer. You've already done that. Twice. Jun moved closer, step by careful step. I should have killed you years ago, Han said. Yes, you should have. Why didn't I? Because you wanted me to suffer first. Bad decision. I can still kill her. You can try. Another step closer. What makes you think you can stop me? The fact that you're still talking instead of shooting. Han's eyes flickered with doubt. In that moment of uncertainty, June struck. His hand closed over the gun barrel and twisted. Han screamed as his wrist broke. The weapon clattered across the concrete floor. June lifted Han by the throat and slammed him against a support pillar. The older man's feet left the ground. "You killed my wife," June said quietly. "Yes." "You killed my daughter." "Yes." "You threatened my woman." "Yes." "Any last words?" Han's face was turning blue. His legs kicked weakly. "Please." "Wrong answer." June's hand tightened. Han's eyes rolled back. "June," Mina's voice cut through the warehouse. "Don't." He paused, looked at her. His eyes held something between rage and anguish. "He killed them. I know. But killing him won't bring them back. It will stop him from killing anyone else. There are other ways to stop him, are there?" "Yes. Better ways. Legal ways." "Legal ways failed before? Then try them again, but don't become like him." June stared at Han for a long moment. The older man hung limp in his grip, unconscious but breathing. Finally, June released him. Han crumpled to the floor. "You're right," June said quietly. "Becoming like him dishonors their memory." He untied Mina's ropes with gentle hands. She stood on shaking legs and fell into his arms. "Are you hurt?" he asked. "No, just scared. It's over now." "Is it?" June looked at Han's unconscious form. "It will be, after he faces justice." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. "Police?" Mina asked. "FBI. This crosses federal lines now. How long have you been working with them?" "Since my family died. Revenge isn't justice, but justice can feel like revenge." They walked toward the warehouse entrance together. Mina leaned against his strength and felt safety return to her bones. "Halmione?" she asked. "Dai is watching her." "She's safe. And us? We're safe too." Finally, outside, federal agents were taking Han's surviving men into custody. An ambulance waited for Dai, who had regained consciousness and was arguing with the paramedics. "Miss Cho," an FBI agent approached them. "Agent Park, we'll need your statement." "Tonight?" "Tomorrow is fine. You've been through enough." They rode back to the penthouse in June's car. The city lights blurred past the windows in streams of gold and white. "What happens now?" Mina asked. "Now we go home. Your penthouse? Our home, if you'll have it. What about your past? Your enemies? Your dangerous life?" "My dangerous life just ended. Han was the last link to the old world. And the new world. The new world is whatever we build together." At the penthouse, Halmione waited in her robe and slippers. She hugged Mina tightly when they walked through the door. "I was worried," she said. "I was too. But we're safe now." "And the tall boy? Did he come back like he promised?" "Yes, he kept his promise." "Good. Promises matter." Later, after Halmione was settled in bed and Dai was bandaged and comfortable, Mina found June on the balcony. He stood at the railing, looking out at the city. "Second thoughts?" she asked. "No. First thoughts about what comes next." "What does come next?" "Normal life, maybe. Work without danger. Sleep without nightmares. Love without fear." "That sounds perfect." "Does it? Even with a damaged man like me?" "Especially with a man like you. Damage doesn't disqualify you from happiness, doesn't it?" "No. It qualifies you to appreciate it when it comes." June turned to face her. His eyes held something she'd never seen before. Peace, maybe, or hope. "I love you," he said quietly. "I love you too. Even knowing everything about my past. Especially knowing everything about your past." "Why?" "Because your past made you who you are. And who you are is worth loving." He moved closer. Close enough that she could feel warmth from his body. Close enough to see gold flecks in his dark eyes. "If we do this," he said, "there's no going back. I don't want to go back. There will be challenges, adjustments. Learning to live without constant danger. Those sound like good problems to have." "Are you sure?" "I'm sure." He cupped her face in his hands, gentle fingers against soft skin. "I need you to understand something," he said. "What?" "I will protect you always at any cost." "I know. Even if it means making hard choices. I trust your choices. Even if it means leaving everything behind and starting over. Especially if it means that." Something shifted in his expression. Relief, gratitude, love. "Then marry me." The words escaped before he could stop them. Mina's breath caught. "Are you asking? I'm begging. That's not necessary, isn't it?" "No." "Because the answer is yes." "Yes? Yes." He kissed her then. Soft lips and gentle pressure. a promise sealed with touch. The city spread below them in patterns of light and shadow, millions of people living millions of lives. But for this moment, only 2 lives mattered. When they broke apart, Mina rested her forehead against his. "What do we tell Halmione?" she asked. "The truth, that love wins. And if she asks about the wedding, we'll keep it simple, family only, promises that matter. And after the wedding? After the wedding we build something beautiful. Together? Together." They stood on the balcony until dawn painted the sky in shades of hope. 2 broken people who had found healing in each other's arms. The dangerous world that had brought them together was ending. The peaceful world they would build together was just beginning. 6 months later, birthday morning arrived with the smell of miokguk simmering on the stove. Mina woke in the bedroom she now shared with June and smiled at the familiar sounds from the kitchen. Halmione humming off-key hymns, June moving quietly around the space, preparing breakfast with the same careful attention he gave everything important. Their home was different now. Not the cold penthouse they'd started in, but a house in the hills, 3 bedrooms, a garden where Halmione grew vegetables, windows that opened to let in fresh air and morning light. Mina padded to the kitchen in bare feet and found June standing at the stove. Steam rose from the soup pot. Perfect miokguk for her birthday morning. "Good morning, husband," she said softly. "Good morning, wife." The words still felt new, precious, worth protecting. She wrapped her arms around his waist from behind and breathed in his familiar scent. Home, safety, love. "How long until it's ready?" she asked. 10 minutes. Just enough time for birthday kisses. He turned in her arms and kissed her forehead, her nose, her lips, gentle pressure that spoke of forever. "I love you," she whispered. "I love you too." Simple words, but they held the weight of everything they'd survived, everything they'd built, everything they'd promised to protect. Halmione appeared in her robe and slippers, moving slowly but steadily. Her health had improved in the months since they'd moved. Regular meals, reduced stress, a family to care for her properly. "Birthday girl," she announced, 29 years old and finally wise enough to marry well. "Only took me long enough," Mina said. "Good things take time, better things take longer. And the best things? The best things take exactly as long as they need to." They carried breakfast to the dining room table together, 3 generations sharing morning light and miokguk. Steam rose from the bowls, carrying memories of other birthdays, other families, other chances at happiness. But this happiness felt permanent, built on solid ground instead of shifting sand. 2 simple rings rested in a dish beside the sink, wedding bands worn daily and removed only for cooking, symbols of promises kept and futures shared. After breakfast, June disappeared to his home office. Legitimate work now, import business, security consulting, nothing that required violence or secrecy. Mina helped Halmione with her morning exercises and medication schedule, routine that had become rhythm, rhythm that had become peace. "He's a good man," Halmione said as they folded laundry together. "Yes, he is. Damaged when you found him. Healed now. Healing. It's a process. Love is the best medicine for broken hearts. And time? Time helps. But love does the real work." Late afternoon brought visitors. Day arrived with his wife and daughter. The little girl called June uncle and Halmione great-grandmother, terms of endearment that spoke of chosen family. They ate dinner together on the back patio, Korean barbecue and fresh vegetables from Halmione's garden, conversation in 2 languages, laughter that echoed off the hills. As evening settled, the guests departed with hugs and promises to return soon, family obligations fulfilled with joy instead of duty. In the kitchen, Mina and June cleaned dishes side by side. Easy rhythm developed over months of shared routine. "Good birthday," he asked. "Perfect birthday. Better than last year? Last year I was alone and scared. This year I'm surrounded by love. And next year will be even better. How can you be sure? Because we'll have had another year together. Another year to build something beautiful." June dried the last plate and set it in the cabinet. His movements were careful and precise, old habits applied to new purposes. "Any regrets?" he asked. "About what?" "Choosing this life, this man, this complicated happiness." "None. Even knowing what it cost to get here. Especially knowing what it cost. Anything worth having is worth fighting for. And this is worth having. This is worth everything." They moved to the living room, where Halmione dozed in her favorite chair. The television played quietly. Evening news that no longer carried threats or fear. June settled on the couch and pulled Mina against his side. She fit perfectly in the curve of his arm. Two pieces of a puzzle finally assembled correctly. "What are you thinking about?" she asked. "The future. What about it? Whether we'll have children, whether they'll be safe, whether I'll be a good father." "You'll be a wonderful father." "How can you know that?" "Because you're a wonderful man, and because you know how precious children are. Because I lost one. Because you loved one. Love doesn't end with loss. It continues with memory." June's arms tightened around her, protective instinct that had become second nature. "I dream about her sometimes," he said quietly. "Sujin." "Yes, she's older in the dreams, walking, talking, playing with imaginary siblings." "What does she say?" "That she's proud of me, that she likes her new mother, that she wants brothers and sisters to play with." Mina felt tears threaten behind her eyes. "And what do you tell her?" "That dreams come true. Sometimes it just takes longer than expected." They sat in comfortable silence as darkness settled outside. Halmione's gentle snoring provided background rhythm. The house settled around them with sounds of home. "June?" "Yes?" "Ask me again." "Ask you what?" "What you asked on the balcony 6 months ago." Understanding dawned in his eyes. He shifted to face her properly. "Mina Seo." "Yes?" "Will you have my children?" "Yes." "Will you build a family with me?" "Yes." "Will you love me forever?" "Forever and longer." He kissed her then. Soft pressure that tasted of promises and possibility. Tomorrow and all the tomorrows that would follow. When they broke apart, Halmione was watching them with knowing eyes. "About time," she said. "I was wondering when you'd get around to the important questions." "Were we that obvious?" Mina asked. "Love is always obvious to people who know how to look. And you know how to look. I've been looking at love for 78 years. I recognize the real thing when I see it." Later, after Halmione was settled in bed with her evening medications, Mina and June stood at their bedroom window, looking out at the city lights. Los Angeles spread below them in familiar patterns, the same view they'd shared from the penthouse balcony. But everything else had changed. No fear, no danger, no enemies circling in the darkness. Just love, just family, just the future unfolding one day at a time. "Any second thoughts?" June asked. "Only about what took us so long to get here. Timing matters. We weren't ready before. And now we're exactly where we need to be. Together. Together." He pulled her close, and she melted into his warmth. Two hearts beating in synchronized rhythm. Two lives merged into something stronger than either could achieve alone. Outside, the city pulsed with 8 million stories, 8 million chances at happiness, 8 million possibilities for love. But inside their home, only one story mattered. Only one love needed tending. Only one possibility required their attention, the possibility of forever, the promise of family, the certainty that some mistakes lead to miracles. As they prepared for sleep, June paused at the dresser where Sujin's bracelet rested beside their wedding photo. He touched it gently, the way he did every night. "She would have loved you," he said quietly. "I would have loved her too. She would have been a wonderful big sister. She still will be. In spirit, in memory, in the stories we tell." "You really believe that?" "I really believe that." They climbed into bed and settled into familiar positions. Mina's head on June's chest, his arms wrapped protectively around her. Home in human form. "Sweet dreams," he whispered. "Sweet dreams." But before sleep claimed them, Mina spoke once more. "June?" "Yes?" "Thank you." "For what?" "For finding me, for saving me, for choosing love over fear. Thank you for letting me. Thank you for being worth saving. Thank you for being worth protecting." Sleep came easily, without nightmares, without fear, without anything but peace and love and the promise of tomorrow. In the morning there would be breakfast to make, work to do, a life to build one day at a time. But tonight there was only this, only them, only the certainty that love had won. Outside, the city never slept, but inside their home, peace reigned supreme. And in the quiet darkness, two hearts beat as one. Morning light streamed through white curtains, casting golden patterns across the hardwood floor. Mina woke to the sound of June moving quietly through their morning routine. Coffee brewing, shower running, the familiar rhythm of a life built on trust and tenderness. She stretched in their shared bed and smiled at the simple luxury of safety. No checking locks, no listening for footsteps, no fear lurking in the corners of consciousness. Just love, just home, just the promise of another ordinary day. "Good morning," June said from the doorway, hair still damp from his shower, white shirt and dark pants. ready for another day at the office managing legitimate businesses. Good morning. She reached for him and he came willingly, sat on the edge of the bed and leaned down to kiss her forehead. Sleep well? Better than ever. Dreams? Only good ones. You, Halmione. Children playing in the garden. How many children? 2, maybe 3. A boy who looks like you. A girl who laughs like Sujin. Mina felt warmth spread through her chest. That sounds perfect. Does it? Even with a father who has so much baggage? Especially with a father who knows how precious family is. I want to be good at it. Being a father, being a husband. You already are good at it. You take care of us. You protect us. You love us. Is that enough? That's everything. They dressed together in comfortable silence. June in his business attire. Mina in jeans and a sweater. Different worlds that had learned to complement each other perfectly. In the kitchen, Halmione sat at the breakfast table reading the Korean newspaper and muttering complaints about politics. These politicians, she said, no respect for tradition, no understanding of family values. What are they doing now? Mina asked as she started coffee, arguing about things that don't matter while ignoring things that do, such as taking care of elderly parents, teaching children respect, making sure families stay together. June smiled as he prepared Halmione's morning medications. His relationship with her had deepened into genuine affection. She treated him like the son she'd never had. He treated her like the mother he'd lost too young. Any family values advice for us, grandmother? He asked. Just one. Keep doing what you're doing. Love each other, take care of each other, build something that lasts. And if we have difficulties, all families have difficulties, the good ones work through them together. After breakfast, June left for the office with promises to return early for dinner. His work schedule had become predictable, regular hours, no late-night emergencies, no dangerous clients, just business, legal business that helped other businesses solve normal problems. Mina spent the morning helping Halmione with physical therapy exercises. The old woman's mobility had improved dramatically since they'd moved to the house. Regular routine, reduced stress, medical care that actually addressed her needs. You're getting stronger, Mina observed as Halmione completed her balance exercises. Good living makes for good health. Love is better medicine than pills, though you still need to take your pills. I take them, but love does the real healing. After lunch, they worked in the garden together. Halmione's vegetables were thriving in the California sunshine. Tomatoes and peppers, herbs and leafy greens, food that nourished the body and fed the soul. June wants to expand the garden, Halmione said as they watered the plants. Oh? Add fruit trees, maybe a play area for future grandchildren. He talks to you about grandchildren. He talks to me about everything. That boy has been lonely for too long. Now he has family. He wants to make the most of it. And you? Do you want grandchildren? I want whatever makes you happy. If grandchildren make you happy, then I want grandchildren. They would make me happy. I think they'd make June happy too. Then it's settled. We'll have grandchildren. It's not quite that simple, Halmione. Simple is overrated. Good things take effort. That evening, June returned home with flowers for Mina and green tea for Halmione. Small gestures that spoke of thoughtfulness and care. How was your day? Mina asked as they prepared dinner together. Productive. We signed 3 new clients, all legitimate businesses with normal security needs. Any excitement? The most exciting thing was choosing between 2 different office supply companies. And you chose the one with better customer service. Riveting decision-making process. Mina laughed. I love boring decisions. Because they mean we're safe? Because they mean we're normal. Normal people get to worry about office supplies instead of life and death. Do you miss the excitement sometimes? No. I miss nothing about fear and violence and constant danger. Even if it brought us together, we would have found each other anyway. Love finds a way. You really believe that? I really believe that. After dinner, they settled into their evening routine. Halmione watched her Korean dramas while Mina and June reviewed wedding photos on the laptop. Simple ceremony 6 months ago. Family only. Promises that mattered more than pageantry. Look at this one, Mina said, pointing to a photo of June dancing with Halmione. She's laughing so hard she can barely stand. She told me her late husband used to dance the same way. 2 left feet but perfect enthusiasm. Do you miss them? Your parents? Every day, but not with sadness anymore. With gratitude for what they taught me. What did they teach you? That family is everything. That love requires sacrifice. that protecting the people you care about is the only work that truly matters. And now I get to apply those lessons without violence, build something instead of destroying, create instead of survive. No regrets about leaving the old life behind? Only regret is that it took so long to find this life. Later, as they prepared for bed, June paused at the dresser where Soo-jin's bracelet rested beside their wedding rings. "I had a thought today," he said quietly. "What kind of thought?" "About names, if we have a daughter someday." "What about names?" "I'd like to include Soo-jin as a middle name, to honor her memory." Mina felt tears prick behind her eyes. "That's beautiful. You wouldn't mind?" "I'd be honored. She was part of you before I existed. She deserves to be remembered. And if we have a son, we'll find a name that honors both our families. Your parents, the ones who raised me, the ones who taught me that love survives everything." They climbed into bed and settled into familiar positions. Mina's head on June's chest, his arms wrapped around her, home in human form. "June?" "Yes?" "When this all started, did you ever imagine it would end like this?" "No. I imagined it would end badly, with more loss, more grief." "What changed?" "You changed. You showed me that healing was possible, that love was stronger than fear. And now I can't imagine any other ending. Even knowing how much pain you had to survive to get here, especially knowing that. The pain gave meaning to the healing and the future. The future is ours to write, together." Sleep came easily, as it always did now, without nightmares, without fear, without anything but love and peace and the promise of tomorrow. In the morning there would be coffee to make and breakfast to share, work to do, and a life to build one day at a time. But tonight, there was only this, only them. Only the certainty that love had conquered everything. Outside their window, the city never slept. 8 million people living 8 million stories, 8 million chances at happiness and heartbreak and everything in between. But inside their home, only one story mattered. The story of two broken people who had found healing in each other's arms. The story of love that survived violence and fear and loss. The story of family built on choice instead of blood. And in the quiet darkness, two hearts beat as one. The sound of home, the rhythm of forever, the music of love that had learned to trust again. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new joys, children to raise and dreams to pursue and a future to build together. But tonight there was only peace, only love, only the sweet certainty that some mistakes lead to miracles, and sometimes when you least expect it, an accidentally sent email can change everything. The grocery list that had started their story now seemed like destiny, disguised as chance. Two lives that had needed each other finding their way through darkness to light. In the dresser drawer, Soo-jin's bracelet caught moonlight and seemed to sparkle with approval. Past and future connected by love that refused to die. And in the garden outside, plants grew strong in fertile soil, reaching towards sunshine and rain and all the seasons yet to come. Home, family, forever. They were finally, truly, completely home.